Hi, my name is Jose from the Urban Ecology Center, Community Program Educator here. And one of the things about winter is it does like to bring all this wonderful snow. So usually around this time when you get some of that nice fluff, you're able to do some amazing activities outside. If you've never done something before, you're able to do things from skiing, snowshoeing, just having a nice hike outdoors, and most importantly, of course, we got some sledding. Sledding is one of my favorite activities, and hopefully through this little video you're able to find out a little bit more about it and provide you an outlet for you to be able to come borrow some sleds if you need them. So let's continue on and talk about a couple things. Even though all this snow is definitely something nice to be able to look at and walk through, it's definitely not the ideal area to be able to sled. Why, you might ask? It's because this area is nice and flat. For sledding, we want to look for some hills, especially at nearby parks. It definitely, when it fills up with snow, it provides that nice steep angle for you to be able to drop down. And as I keep on turning, we see a couple hills in the distance at this particular park where I'm visiting that provide a couple of good starting points to be able to sled down. Now, a couple of things we got to watch out for are the following. One potential hazard when sledding down a hill are trees. You got to be mindful of the area that you visit to just take a look around and see how many trees there are. You definitely don't want to be sledding down a hill at high velocity and hit a tree, either on the way down or at the bottom. So definitely try to pick a nice, more open area away from any trees that could potentially get in the way, because again, you don't want to get hurt and you want to have a good time while you're doing this activity. Another potential hazard is definitely other neighbors or people in your community that are visiting the same hill you are. Similar to trees, if there's people at the bottom, you got to be mindful of that. You don't really want to go down the hill when there's a lot of people still either getting off of the sleds if they just went down, or they're just hanging out at the bottom of the direction that you're going in. You really want to yell out, look out below, or whatever saying that you want to say, just nice and loud, so that way you can get some attention and let people know you're heading down the hill. Another thing on top of the hill, you want to be mindful of everybody that's probably waiting to be able to go down the same hill you are. So definitely let each other know, take turns. It could be a simple thing as, hey, could I go next? Or just letting them know, I plan on going next. I'll go first and then you can go after me. And again, once you're at the bottom of the hill, you want to be mindful of everybody that could potentially come right after you. So as soon as you're at the bottom, definitely dart out of the way. Definitely don't go straight ahead. Definitely dart either to the left or to the right, so that way it gets you out of the area a lot quicker. If you continue going straight as to the direction you came in, it could potentially still cause you harm, because some of the sleds, you never know how quickly or how far they may travel once they actually reach at the bottom of the hill, or going down the hill, I should say. And so you got to be mindful of that. So definitely either to the left or to the right of the spot where you landed as quickly as you can. Continuing walking around and exploring, I ended up stumbling upon this particular hill. Definitely got some pretty good incline, but I definitely see a big problem right here, or should I say a big obstacle. The jungle gym is at the bottom, and the incline that this particular side of the hill has is very steep. So right off the bat, I'm thinking that's a pretty steep angle. I'm definitely going to go down quickly and gain some pretty good velocity and good distance as I make my way down. And so, because of trying to figure that out and getting that particular information, I was able to say, this probably isn't the safest spot with the jungle gym just right there in front at the bottom. So just continuing to look around, it looks like the area to the right is a little bit more open, and even though it has a little bit of a less of an incline, there's still some incline there to be able to enjoy this area if I really wanted to stay here. The other option I have is to be able to continue exploring either here at this particular park or see what other areas I'd be able to visit. One of the perks of being a member with us here at the UEC is you're able to check out a whole bunch of different amazing equipment. For us, a lot of boots and skis, and definitely some snowshoes. But of course, we're not talking about that. We're talking about sledding here. And you're definitely able to check out some sleds as well. And I'll be showing you just two of some of the ones you're able to check out. This first sled is definitely something you're probably a little bit more familiar with. If not, this is one of the ones you're able to borrow from us. This is considered a two-person sled. Definitely being able to fit one person as well, depending on if you want to go on your own or if you want to take somebody else with you. One of the things that you see right up in front is a little bit of rope. That acts as pretty much your reins to be able to try and control the sled. Definitely being able to pull on the left to be able to go more to the right, and pull on the right to be able to try and go to the left. It definitely takes a little bit of practice to be able to maneuver, but it is one of the things you're going to be able to try as you go down the hill. Again, just keeping in mind of the surroundings and obstacles that you may be able to have depending on the area that you go visit to be able to do some sledding. The next one we have available are some of these disc sleds. There's potential you may be able to borrow one that is made out of plastic. The other potential one you're able to borrow is one that's made out of this more foam material. Usually these have two locations to be able to hold on to. One hand on each side to be able to hold on to that. This one definitely doesn't have the rope as the other one, but with this one there's not much room for steering, or at least in direction. So this is pretty much, you hop on and then you just go with the flow. Again, just keeping in mind of everything down below, because you don't want to hit any obstacles once you get down. If you do want to borrow some sleds, definitely give a call ahead to whichever branch you want to be able to borrow some sleds from. It'd be nice to be able to ask them and see what they have before, actually ordering something and then not being available for you. So definitely give a call ahead and just check up on that. You are able to ask, for some other smaller sizes of the black sled I was able to show you. There are smaller sizes available. All you got to do is be able to ask. The disc ones definitely are a lot more popular. So again, just feel free to ask to see which ones they have. Another great important thing to remember is always wear the right gear. If it's definitely chilly outside, carry a hat with you, some gloves, definitely a coat, maybe two, depending on how cold it may be, some snow boots or snow pants if you have that, some nice warm socks, and of course you definitely want to be layered up. If you do get a little warm while you're out there, because you will be getting warm, especially if you're climbing down and up the hill while you're sledding, definitely are able to take off some layers, but again, just maintain some cover because you don't want to get too chilly while you're out there. Hopefully I was able to provide you with a little bit of information, and if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're here to be able to help you out and hopefully be able to pick out some amazing gear for you to be able to enjoy when you get some nice snowy days just like this one.